I'm going to help you get geared as a mage in Season of Discovery Phase 1. Whether you are a healer or DPS, I'm going to show you both. And this is going to be for best in slot from the raid and everywhere else, alongside a pre-raid set that will be best in slot for before you get into BlackFathom Depths. So first up is going to be Rakamar's Tattered Thinking Cap on the head. This is the best in slot one for raiding up first, and then we're going to go on to pre-raid after. So first of all, we've got Rakamar's Tattered Thinking Cap. This is from Lady Severus. It's a 22% drop chance on this, giving you a damage and healing effects up to 14. From Twilight Lord Kelrus, then we have the Jagged Bone Necklace. This is on the neck, and then on the shoulders is going to be the Magician's Mantle, which are an expensive BOE. If you don't want to use these, you could use the frayed chestnut mantle, which are from the Allegiance to the Old Gods quest in BlackFathom Depths, or there's the Ashari Novices shoulder pads from Lady Severus. But the best in slot ones are going to be the Magician's Mantle, and these are BOE, could be very expensive. Then we've got the Sergeant's Cloak. This is absolutely best in slot. You can see here the amazing stats it's got on it. If you want to know how to get this, it's from the PvP vendor in either Stormwind or Orgrimmar, and I have actually done a video on how to get this. That is the first things to do once you reach level 25. Check out that video for a detailed guide on how to get this. The Twilight Invoker's robes, again with a simple damage and healing magical spells. Increase is from Gellerhast in BlackFathom Depths. Phoenix Bindings down here, these are specifically going to increase the damage of your fire spells. Very useful, seeming as we're using a lot of fire spells as a mage in phase 1. These again are BOE. If you can't get these, you can also get the, again, likely expensive Mind Thrust Bracers, which are BOE as well. Or going down, then there's going to be the Crystalline Cuffs. For the Rod of the Ancient Sleepwalker, again, this is from Shadow Lord Kelrus in BlackFathom Depths. Going on to the right-hand side, then we've got the Phoenix Gloves. These, again, are going to increase fire damage, and these are a BOE. These are made from tailoring. So if you get the materials together, you may actually be able to find a friendly tailor making these for you. And again, these increase fire damage specifically. Belt of Aragol is from Aragol in Shadowfang Keep. There's a few really good items in Shadowfang Keep for us cloth wearers, so I would advise maybe farming it a few times. Again, with the Smouldering Pants, another BOE that does fire damage increase by 13, which is huge. One thing I will say is these are from Crimson Whelps. There's a 2% drop chance in the wetlands, so you can get this whether you're Horde or Alliance, as it's just a world drop, but it will be a bit easier to get there for Alliance. If you can't be bothered with all that, I mean, you still want a really, really good item. The next one's going to be the Soul Leech Pants from Akume in BlackFathom Depths, but because we're using fire spells predominantly, the Smouldering Pants are going to be best in slot. Next up is the Extra Planar Spider Silk Boots. Again, check out my video on the first things to do at level 25 on a detailed guide on how to get this. I go through the entire process, but TLDR, you need tailoring. If you want a cloth wearer, you basically have to get tailoring in phase 1. Same if you are leather with leatherworking, and male with blacksmithing. Basically, these are it's an epic quest line, quite a long quest line, and you're going to get an epic item. It's gloves for leatherworking and a chest, I think, for blacksmithing. But these are amazing. They're phenomenal. You must have tailoring. From Twilight Lord Kelrus again, then we've got the Signet of the Twilight Lord. Pretty simple on that one. And then on this one, we've actually got the Seal of Rin. Again, check out that video I mentioned on how to get this. It's another quest line. It starts from looting Edwin Van Cleef's body. It's called an Unsent Letter. It's the starter quest in the Dead Mines. You could also get the Lawkeeper's Ring, sorry. There's one for Horde and Alliance. This is from the Ashenvale Warsong Gulch Reputation PvP vendors. This is going to restore a little bit of mana per 5 seconds and increase your effects, whereas the Seal of Rin literally gives stats to nearly every stat, which is phenomenal, and that's why I always recommend Seal of Rin. However, you could then, like I said, get the PvP one as well. There is these Invoker's Void Pearls. So these are from the Heart of the Void, and there is one for attack power, one for healing, and one for damage and healing done. So if you're a DPS as a mage, then you're going to go for the Invoker's Void Pearl. If you're a healer, you're going to go for the Acolyte's Void Pearl. Then we've got the Insignia of the Alliance, again PvP vendor reward, and last but not least is the Wand, which is the Phoenix Ignition, doing 25 to 47 damage, and this is from, again, Twilight Lord Elris. There is also a few others that aren't too bad, like this BlackFathom Depths one from BlackFathom Villainy, but the best one you are going to get, sorry, I literally am so ill right now, you can probably tell, is going to be the Phoenix Ignition. Going on to then the pre-raid best in slot is going to be these items here. Ta-da! One thing I will say, thank you for your feedback on my priest gearing video, is I'm not putting in BOE super expensive items. Obviously I am for the best in slot because they're best in slot, but for this one I want to really make sure that these are all obtainable by both the Horde and Alliance, and I'm not going to be extortionate on the auction house. So at the top, the headpiece is going to be the hardest one to get, as in there's not many options. There are some BOE engineering ones. This resilient cloth headband is Warsong Gulch rep vendors again, and it doesn't really have any useful stats apart from it does have 50 armor, which is a lot more armor than any other headpieces that we can get in phase 1. So even though there's no intellect, etc., and it's a PvP equip, it is actually going to be really good for PvE as well. On the neck, again, this is a PvP one. It's either the Sentinels medallion for Alliance or the Scouts medallion for Horde. 6 agility and 2 stamina. Again, it's going to help with a bit of survivability on this one. The Feline Mantle, giving 10 intellect, 3 spirit, and 2 agility. This is going to be from Wolfmaster Nandos in Shadowfang Keep. Like I said before, Shadowfang Keep is fantastic for cloth wearers. Sergeant's Cloak, again from PvP, best in slot and pre-raid. Robes of Aragol, again, another Shadowfang Keep. This is from Archmage Aragol. These crystalline cuffs I think are the best that both Horde and Alliance can get. They are from Ragefire Chasm, meaning it could be quite difficult for Alliance to actually get in and do this one. If you don't want to do those, then there is a wanted quest line for Timberland Arm Guards here, and this is an Alliance quest called Wanted Merc Deep. It's in Darkshore, or there's these really awful ones from Westfall that have literally nothing on. So that there really isn't many options here if you don't want to go BOE. You can go BOE if you want, of course, and look on the auction house. So the Emberstone Staff, this drops from the Dead Mines. The boss is Captain Greenskin. Going over then onto the right, we've got the Zodiac Gloves. These are from a quest called Look to the Stars in Duskwood. Is Alliance only, but I will say there's also these Serpent Gloves from the Wailing Caverns on Lord Serpentis that you could get if you're Horde. Best in slot outside of the raid is going to be the Phoenix Gloves, however, but it could be very expensive from tailoring. Again, the Nightwatch Pantaloons are going to be a quest in Duskwood. The quest is called Morbant Fell, so it's Alliance only. Again, I'm sorry. There are these Phoenix Pants that are BOE from tailoring, which is honestly pretty much the only good Horde substitute for the pants slot, which is a real shame. One I missed is Belt of Aragol. Again, Shadowfang Keep, Aragol boss. Tailoring boots, again, really good. You should definitely take tailoring and do the quest line. The rings are pretty much the same, apart from this lavishly jeweled ring being from the Dead Mines. Again, you could get the Rin's seal instead of the PvP one here or the Dead Mines one. I would kind of just try and get whichever 2 you can get first, if that makes any sense. PvP trinkets here, and then Cookie's Stirring Rod is from Cookie in the Dead Mines. There are also some better quest reward quests. Specifically on Alliance side, there's things like the Excavation Rod in the Wetlands, etc. But Cookie's Stirring Rod, if you just want to do dungeons, is going to be the best one to get. Now, this is predominantly PvE DPS based. If you want to get the a more optimized set for healing, a lot of this is going to work really well for healing because of the stats on it, apart from the ones with fire damage. If you want to get one that is specifically for healing, I would say check out my Priest Gearing guide. That was the video I released just before this one. Because that cloth wearing healing gear is going to be best in slot for mages as well. But generally, this set is going to do you absolutely fine for healing as well. It's just not going to be the absolute best in slot with things like, in fact, there's none even on here. You know, on the best in slot ones with the fire. If you did like this video, please subscribe, leave a thumbs up. As I said, I'm really having to push through. I'm feeling so ill. I had to drag myself out of bed to film this. So again, if you did like it, please let me know. Please subscribe. Please click that thumbs up. And I will be doing all other classes for their gearing as well.